It's hard to believe now, but 23 years ago, this, for a brief period in time, was just about the most hated man in England. Despite denying England a place at the 1994 World Cup, glittering doesn't begin to describe the football career of Ronald Koeman. He won numerous titles, including 4 in a row for Barcelona. He was also a European champion for both club and country, and he scored 193 goals in just over 500 appearances. And he was a defender, for crying out loud.
It's good that I can see where's the first team.
These days, of course, Ronald Koeman is a manager. He's here at Everton, and I've come along to their training ground to have a word with him.
If you're going in the afternoon in the gym.
Ronald, I was on the train on the way up and I was doing a little bit of research. You scored 193 goals in just over 500 games as a defender. That's quite phenomenal. Took my breath away a bit, actually.
Yeah, it's a high number of goals, of course, for a defender,
Yeah.
but I wasn't really a defender.
No.
I played more in a free role as a sweeper, and I was lucky. I played for big teams.
And you could hit it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could hit it.
I hit the ball well, yes.
It must be quite useful though when you're talking to strikers and training midfield players, etc. And that, to try and get them into goal-scoring positions, and they can look at that kind of record that you've got.
Yeah, but the problem now is that if you ask young players about well-known players in the past, they don't know.
Well, football didn't exist before the Premier League, of course.
Yeah, but because I remember that when I signed the contract as a manager in Southampton, James Ward-Prowse was looking on YouTube about Ronald Koeman, what he did as a player.
You joined Barcelona in fact, you kind of took my place in a way, because I was there from 89 to 92. Cruyff kicked me out to bring in you, because he wanted a real goal scorer, you see.
No, I know that, but you had a good time over there.
No, it's a great club to play at, and I suppose in many ways you came in at a time as a player there at Barcelona when everything changed for not only Barcelona but Spanish football, really. How important was Cruyff for your not just career as a player but as a manager as well?
Yes, very important, because I think you learn a lot of that kind of coaches, because in my opinion he was the best. He signed a lot of new players to create that style of football, and finally we won 4 titles in a row against Madrid. I spoke to Guardiola last week, and he still remembers the way how we played, and it's really a big support, and it's a big knowledge for us as a manager. We learn a lot from Johan.
Did you always see yourself going into management?
Yes, and you start thinking about what will happen after your football career, when I need to finish football, and then I need to do something in football, because from the beginning I was crazy about football and was only football. I think I had a good planning. I went in '98 to Barcelona to be one of the assistants of Van Gaal.
You fell out with him, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a problem with Louis in Ajax Amsterdam. Yeah. I was the manager over there, and he came back to Holland to be the director of football in the club. And we had really strong fights about the way of playing, about the future of the club, and that wasn't really nice at that time. But okay, that was the problem, and okay, we shake hands, but we don't see each other outside.
You're not
best
friends.
That's the best word.
Yeah.
We are not the best friends.
And then, of course, you end up in English football. Was that something you always wanted to do? I mean, obviously 23 years ago, you were responsible for England not making the World Cup. Okay. So did you think you needed to leave it perhaps a long time before?
No. The problem was the referee.
Agreed.
Yeah. But I was always really very interested in the Premier League.
Why did you leave Southampton, who you were doing really well with, to come here to Everton?
No, the main reason was that we did not get agreement about my last year of contract. I mentioned to the club at that time, okay, I like to continue, and I like to go in my last season of contract. And then during the season we will have time to discuss about the future. But there was no way for the club to do that, and okay, they came with a new offer, and I was really disappointed about the new offer to continue in Southampton. I'm the new Everton manager, and that's all what I like to say about Southampton.
And Everton came knocking, and
Everton came, and okay, you start to listen to the club, to the project, to the people, and I said, okay, I think it's okay. It's a good time to move now, because it's maybe impossible to keep that level in Southampton, and you know what can happen in football.
Where can Everton be?
Everton can for this season, Everton will fight for European football, but to beat the big ones in the Premier League will be, I don't say impossible, but very difficult. But I think for next season we need to improve. We will get new signings in, and that makes the team stronger. And the final of 3 years, Everton, I think we need to be close to play Champions League.
Into the net, 1-1, Gareth Barry. Koeman this time, Koeman still. Oh, nicely done.
How far have they got to go? You've come in here, you've looked at the team, you've looked at the players that you've got available. How far off do you think you are?
I think at the moment, I think we are maybe at 60% of the whole project.
What do you like as a manager, as a coach? How would you describe yourself?
No, I love football. I think it's the best in life. The worst still is if you lose the game, and that feeling is.
Does that affect you badly? Your mood?
Yeah, that affects me badly. Yeah.
Do you get angry?
I can be angry, yes.
Yeah. In the dressing room.
In the dressing room,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
And it's. I think that's what you need to show, and it's not always good. And I think it's also to improve every player to be critical. I think that's the best way to for the player to improve.
Oh, look at that, from Pedro to Hazard. Oh, Hazard. Oh, it's in now. Pedro has made it 5.
You've had a little bit of a blip in recent weeks.
Yeah, but okay, I expect this. And there was no day that I thought it will go all the season on this way. No. It's not all about positions on the table, but we still the best of the rest. And that's what we need and what we like to be now, not for next season, not for the third season in the project, but of course disappointed about the 5-0 defeat against Chelsea, but okay, we need to accept it and we need to continue.
Lukaku on a hat-trick! And Lukaku has got that hat-trick!
We have, in my opinion, we have the best striker.
How good do you think he can be, Romelu Lukaku?
I think he can't improve anymore in his finishing in the box.
Yeah.
I think he will score always goals. He can improve in his defensive positions. He can improve a little bit more in his work rate to help midfield, to help defenders to press. But it's really a fantastic striker.
Markley's delivery, it was good delivery! Oh, it's all the way through and into the corner of the net!
Ross Barkley always grabs attention as being a possible young England player of the future. How do you think his progress is going? Because you've been a little bit critical of one or two aspects of his.
But I think it's if you have reasons to be critical, why not? And Ross has a lot of qualities, but it's now the most important now for him is to express that quality on the pitch, and it's not about to make a good pass or to have one shot. He needs to be more clinical.
How do you change that?
to show Ross clips and to talk with the player, to give him the support, to give him the exercises to improve, and finally it's always up to the player. But it's a process with Ross, and if people ask me about Ross, I don't speak anymore about a talent player, because he's now 4 or 5 years already playing for Everton in the Premier League.
The expectancy on managers now is unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the longevity of managers at clubs is relatively short these days.
Yeah.
It's a tough job, isn't it?
It's a tough job, but still, if it's really enjoyable, and of course, but that's a part of the job. You can be sacked. All the big coaches one day will be sacked. Nobody will survive. Yeah, Ferguson.
Apart from him, yeah.
But I'm agree in the fact that the clubs, they don't have really that patience for the manager.
What would make you really happy this season with Everton?
If we qualify for Europe. Also, how is the team playing? Plays the team, and we change certain things in the team. Is that what we improved till the end of the season? But finally, it's all about that you win, that you will get a high position, and that the challenge, the target, what we have, we will reach that.
Wish you well, Ronald.
Thank you.
And thank you for talking to and spending time. It's really good.
Thank you.